This is week 18 of Sloth game development. A lot of progress this week. First trial with the Android phone, the actual hardware, worked pretty well. I did have some issues initially because of a heavy animation on the main menu screen, which was kind of weird. It actually was crashing the app pretty much immediately. I did fix that by making the animation frame smaller, but the whole animation itself was only about 5 megabytes, which is kind of concerning that it would crash on that. So I'm going to dig into that a little bit more at the very end of the project. The only other thing that didn't work on Android was basically the shader for the reflection portal. The water effect on the shader on the reflection portal did not work, so that's my next week's problem. I was able to finish level 14, which is the final boss, which is pretty cool, and I'll show you that in a second. I also implemented a dialogue system for the mandrakes, which I'm still tweaking and trying to decide how I want to do that entirely. And I updated a few assets here and there, and I also updated the main menu. So let me just go ahead and start playing the boss fight. So the first part of the boss fight is basically the boss just chasing you. And as you can see, this is part of the dialogue here, dialogue system. So the boss starts chasing you in the first part, and if you get within a certain range, just kind of hit you, basically. That. And it only registers a hit if you're actually still within his hit range after the attack finishes. I'm going to show you a little bit more too. There's this like trap here that shakes when you get on top of it, and that's kind of important to note later on. And I actually made it shake like that for a reason, mostly to give the player an idea of what you're going to have to do eventually. Let me just keep fighting him. So this warps around you, and it's kind of at random, so you have to be careful with what side he warps on. That's why you can't just like run straight to the tree anymore like you did with the previous one. But now he's going to run around, and the boss actually has quite a bit of health, like 1,000 health in those first 6 hits. To get to this stage, I only do 6 damage, so you have to kill it this way or you won't die. And that's pretty much the end of this level. There's no exit intro scene yet. I did reach out to an artist to have exit scene done, but it's not actually done yet. So let me show you the main menu. I'm going to show you the main menu just as it sits right now, so you can get an idea of what the final menu looks like. Also, as I was saying about the crashed Android thing, is actually from this dashed line animation. It's like 50 frames, and it did not like it for whatever reason. Yeah, so this is the menu, which you've already seen, but a few bugs figured out, and also I added some like chains here. This is all done now, so I got rid of the graphics control. I just don't think there's any graphics. I was like researching other games, what they would do for graphics, and there's just like nothing. Eventually, I might add a graphics controller back in, like graphics menu settings back in, if I want to add like colorblind mode or something, but right now I don't think it's super necessary. Game controls is done. You have the input type and the text type already, and now there's an action button configuration. Configuration A makes the center button the attack and the jump button, because my thought was, okay, you may want the button that is most accessible and largest to be the one that you always use, which is always the action button and always the jump button. Sorry, the attack button and the jump button. Configuration B is different. It basically makes the attack and the grab button the same, so that using your arms is always the same. And the jump and the, I think it's like lift drop button is the same. It's kind of like a different scheme. I just think it kind of like takes care of anybody complaining about that. The next thing was the extras menu is done as well. Credits, about us, soft facts, credits, just like all the assets. And these all scroll now, which is pretty cool. Same with Sloth Facts, it's bigger and it scrolls. I'm going to go ahead and play level 1. I just want to show off one of the main things that I worked on, which was the dialogue system. And I'm not 100% sure on it yet, but I kind of like it. Basically now some of the mandrakes will have text and talk to you, and I think it's kind of important for like lore and like establishing story. So now if you like hit them, they can kind of say funny things. Again, I kind of like it. It might be too cheesy, but maybe that's exactly what's needed in this type of game. I also really need to fix the music. It's just like not... Oh, that's another one. I need to fix the music too, but I think that's a kind of a future kick the can down the road thing. It's really easy to implement. I've already got the structure set up, so. And that's pretty much it for this week. Next week I need to fix the shader thing, the portal shader thing that I was referring to for the Android build. And I need to do the music and a few just like minor things here and there. But I'm actually pretty happy with how everything's going right now, so. That's pretty much it for this week.